everybody, it's Christina from Card Making Magic. This fabulous A4 stamp set is called Winter Garden, and this is the free gift with Creative Stamping issue 37. Now this magazine will be in selected supermarkets and craft stores as well as WHSmiths on sale on the 1st of December. You can also get the magazine direct from More Mags. Now there's lots that you can do with this particular stamp set, and on the back there are some ideas for you to try. So here are some ideas that I've come up with for using this particular stamp set. So I've used the tree there, the bear tree and the little bird, and that's a sympathy card. I know we don't like to make sympathy cards, but sometimes we have to do them. I've also used the pansies down at the bottom, which is a layered stamp set, and I've created a really vibrant card in lovely bright colours. I've used the flowers at the top and used it in an oval, and then I've used the daffodils, which would make a really pretty Easter card, and then the large bunch of flowers at the bottom I've watercoloured and created a panelled card there. So that's just some ideas, and now I'm going to show you another way to use this stamp set. So to create my card, I have a top folding card. This is a 5x7. I've got myself a smaller mat that leaves just a thin border around the edge, and then I've cut another mat that's going to sit on there. Now in this one I want to create an aperture, and I also want to create some frames. So I'm using the classic and the scalloped dies from Spellbinders. So with this one I'm going to pop that in the middle of there, and I'm going to cut that aperture out. Then with the scalloped one and the die that I've just used, I'm going to create a scalloped frame. And then I'm going to take this die and pop it in with that one, and that will create another frame for me that will sit on top of this one, so that we have a layered look with the frames. So the first thing I'm going to do now is just cut out this centre of the aperture in the card. So I've cut my aperture, I've embossed my card, I've cut a piece of acetate to sit in the centre of the aperture, and I've put foam pads on the back. So that's going to sit on the front of my card, but not yet, because what I need to do now is take some plain white stamping card, and I'm going to create a scene on there. So I need to make sure that I have enough card to fit behind that aperture, and then this is the piece that I'm going to work on. So with my stamping card and the die that I used to create the aperture, I'm just going to pop it into the middle of the card, and I'm just going to make some marks around the outside of the die, and that lets me know that this is the space I have to do my stamping in. So to create my scene, I'm going to use the Misty, because this makes stamping so much easier if you're new to stamping or you don't trust yourself doing it. So with the area that I've marked off for myself, the first thing I'm going to do is lay down my fence, and I shall pick that up with the lid, and I shall stamp that in black ink. Now the beauty of the Misty is if it doesn't stamp dark enough or properly enough in the first stamping, you can always move it out, re-ink it and stamp it again. So once that's done, I can clean that stamp off, and I can remove that from the lid, and I'm going to bring in my tree, and I want the tree to just sit inside that circle. So I'm going to pop that along there, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing again with the black ink. So we'll stamp it up, ink it up and stamp. And because I double stamped the other one, I'm going to double stamp this just to make it really black. Now the next thing I want to do is to take part of this stamp, and I just want to put this into just the frame. So I've got my little branches at the top, and I'm going to put my birthday wishes down at the bottom because I didn't leave myself enough room at the top. So I'm going to pick both of these up and I'm going to ink them in the black ink, but I'm only using part of that stamp, so I don't need to ink it all, and I can press that down and we'll give it a second ink. So there we've got the scenes stamped, and now I'm going to add some colour in to this design. Now there's a tiny little bird in this stamp set, so as long as you make sure that you've got the bird the right way around, you can just add in the birds where you want them on your card. So I've just divided a die cut circle, and I'm going to use part of it along the bottom, and then with some old paper I'm just going to very lightly, and I mean very lightly, dust in some ground. So I've added in some blue at the top, and this is one that I did earlier, and I prefer the words to be further up the card. So this is the one that I'm going to use. Now this is also fitted behind that aperture, so I can now fasten that in place and make sure that there's nothing showing on the outside. If there is, I can just trim around the edge. So I've got this in place now. I've added my two frames together with foam pads in between the white one, and I've put some glue on the back of the blue one, and that's just going to sit over the aperture in the card. So I'll press that in place, and now I can glue everything together. So I can glue this to the base card, and I can add this to that layer. So once I've got everything now fastened in place, I'm just going to finish this card off with the addition of some pearls just along the bottom. And I can pick them up. There we go. And that's a pretty card, which would be ideal as a male birthday card. So there's just some ideas of what you can do with the A4 stamp set called Winter Garden that comes free with Creative Stamping issue 37. It will be in your shops on the 1st of December. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please give it the thumbs up, and why not subscribe to my channel so that you never miss a video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.